During the day, the animals hide in a thick bamboo forest. They're savannah elephants, but they have no savannah, so they live in the forest and even behave like forest elephants. Elephant tracks lead up the slopes of Mount Elgon. Over 24 million years ago, molten lava cut deep caves into the sides of the volcano. The tracks lead to a cave entrance. There are strange markings on the wall, deep scratches that in places reach up to the roof of the cave. Deep inside the cave, 300 meters from the entrance, lies a disturbing sight: the skull of an elephant. What happens in these caves? And what role do the elephants play? In the late afternoon, female elephants and their young move through the dense scrub. They're cautious, as they've had several run-ins with poachers. As twilight turns to night, the elephants resume their journey. Now, infrared cameras become necessary. On the equator, it is totally dark by 9 p.m. In the forest, close to the entrance of the cave, there is the rumble of approaching elephants. At the cave entrance, it becomes clear that at least a dozen elephants have made the journey here. They enter the cave, one after another. All the elephants are females. Some are pregnant, while others have brought their offspring along. The elephant at the front begins scraping at the ceiling with her tusks. It's only the infrared camera that allows us to see. The young elephant is in total darkness and navigates using its trunk. The elephants scrape the salty earth from the walls and collect the mineral-rich sand in their mouths. Detailed studies have examined the nutritional value of the cave walls, revealing the significance of the minerals to the elephants. Salt is an essential part of their diet. The rock walls are vacuumed for every last grain of salt. Elephants have visited the caves for centuries, possibly for thousands of years. Over time, they may have enlarged the caves, digging deeper and deeper into the mountain. At 1 o'clock in the morning, as if responding to some silent signal, the elephants stop work and leave the cave in formation. The route into the cave and the technique of scraping the walls are passed from generation to generation, a tradition which only exists here on Mount Elgon.
Their feast is short-lived. Elephants have picked up the sound of death, the chaos, and they don't like it. The mere presence of lions, the smell of blood, and the disturbance to their sedate lives offends these animals that so thrive on peace and seem to want to just maintain that. Outraged, they act as if the lions had killed one of their own, not a buffalo. But for one of them, that may be true. A tuskless cow reacts as if she has lost a calf or family member of her own in the past. Elephants hold that hurt and loss for a long time. But the lions slip away into the long grass, frustrating her even more. Then, without any obvious reason at all, the female and her herd suddenly settle down and allows the pride to feed. Forgiven, perhaps, but not forgotten. It's just one of the mysteries that define this river with so many faces.
Long a subject of scientific debate, genetic analysis has determined that African forest elephants are a distinct species. Forest elephants are smaller than their regional relatives, the African bush elephants. Their ears are less prominent and their tusks are straighter, which prevents them getting caught in the dense forest undergrowth. The forest elephants inhabit the same territory as the gorillas, but many venture out into the savannas in the afternoon. They congregate to eat grass, but also to maintain social contact with other elephants that spend much of their lives scattered throughout the vast forests. Gabon's national parks are important refuges for both the gorillas and the elephants. From Congo to Cameroon, thousands of animals are killed each year by poachers. In Gabon, however, the elephants are protected by military-trained personnel as part of an elaborate and extremely successful conservation effort. According to a recent census, the country is home to 95,000 forest elephants, 2/3 of all the forest elephants in the world. The species is threatened by extinction, and Gabon is the last island of safety. The country is almost as large as Italy, but only thinly populated. 90% of its surface area is covered by rainforests. The elephants roam the jungle along a network of paths they have carved through the trees, always following the availability of food. The powerful animals consume hundreds of kilos of vegetation and large amounts of fruit. This has a beneficial effect on the rainforests, as they help to spread the seeds of the fruit trees. The elephants are an essential part of the local ecosystem, but they can pose a threat to the humans who live in the remote villages here. People are frequently attacked in the forest, and forest elephants will occasionally destroy entire plantations. This can prove fatal for local villagers, as Emile, a member of the Max Planck team, explains. The behavior of the elephants and the life of the people in our villages changed. Before, the elephants were far away, but today we have them really close to our villages, because now they are more protected by the park. They come to eat the food we plant in our lands. They eat plants like bananas during the night, and when we go out the next morning, we find that they already ate everything. But there's nothing we can do. We can just look at them.
But until the rains arrive, the elephants depend upon a body of water created 2,000 years ago. These waters were dammed by King Mahasen in the 3rd century AD. A huge lake to store waters during the dry months. Lakes like these are lifelines for the animals of the lowlands in their fight to survive. For the elephants, their journey is over. Family groups have joined together into small herds, and then bigger herds, and then bigger herds, until 300 elephants converge on these shores. Finally reaching the center of the largest known gathering of wild Asian elephants in the world. These artificial lakes were built for an ancient people who had no idea how their creations would sustain life 2 millennia later. But water isn't the main reason for this gathering. Because this lake, filled to bursting during the monsoon, is, like all water in these dry months, receding. And what's exposed is the reason the elephants are here. Lush, rich young grass. A spectacular treat. It leaves some rival males a little overexcited.
the Sand River Valley, the elephants have developed their own unique way to get water. The trees have deep roots. They're proof that there is water here. The only problem is reaching it. The baboons grow excited when the elephants arrive. They know what's coming next. The elephants are their ticket to a free drink. These huge bulls know the desert well, and their sense of smell is powerful enough to sniff out the smallest amount of water, even buried underground. When he's pinpointed the spot, the bull begins to dig. All the baboons need to do is wait. About a meter down, the elephant finds what he's looking for. He siphons off the sandy water to leave a fresh, clear pool. The elephants of the Sand River know all the places to dig. Most likely, they learned from their families. Elephants pass knowledge from generation to generation. It's the key to their success. The baboons wait for the elephants to leave the freshly dug wells. Even an eagle welcomes a drink of fresh water in the desert. For all these animals, this is a fleeting opportunity. All too soon, these wells will run dry. The elephants go on their way, but they leave behind a new opportunity for hungry animals.
With the collar around her neck and a characteristic kink in her ear, Caitlin can identify an old friend, Mia, the matriarch of a family named after athletes. The satellite collar was fitted by another research group which is tracking Mia over several seasons. Despite the current dry spell, the last few years have been particularly wet in Natasha. Ideal conditions for elephants. And the resulting baby boom has given families like the athletes an unusually large number of calves to nurse. They're born now so that by the time the babies are eating solid food, the wet season will be in full force. With his rosy complexion, this calf, who Caitlin's named Bruce, can be no more than a few days old. For the next 4 years, Bruce will be entirely dependent on his mother, Paula, and she will do her best to raise him. Paula is a low-ranking female. She's forced to stay on the edge of the herd, so it's going to be hard work giving Bruce the best start in life. It's recently been suggested that elephants put more effort into raising male calves. That could be because in time, a healthy, successful male could sire more calves than a healthy, successful female. So it pays to give the males the better start in life. Yet it also takes a strong family to produce a strong calf. Responsibility for raising the next generation lies on the whole herd, and sometimes they need special attention. A young bull has fallen into the trough. This is a dangerous time. If he can't get out, he could drown. Now is when the family comes into its own. It may look chaotic, but the females are guiding the calf towards the head of the trough, where Mia is waiting to lift him out with a helping trunk. The bonds within the elephant family are strong. They look out for each other, protect each other, and care for each other. The chances of a calf surviving into adulthood are far greater in a tight-knit family. The athletes move on. For Bruce and the other babies, the next few months will be critical. The Etosha dry season is particularly harsh this year, and survival is far from guaranteed.
These abdims are closely related to the European storks. Alarmed, they take flight. A giant has risen from the water. A large elephant bull has retreated from the scorching sun into the cooling river. Up to his neck in the water, he enjoys the foliage. During dry season, the animals struggle to find water in the surrounding grasslands. But the inexhaustible Nile keeps them alive. Each afternoon, the bull swims to a small island to feed on swamp grasses. Before taking a bite, he scrupulously washes off the mud. Under the scorching sun, time seems to stand still, as if explorers searching for the river's source had only just navigated upriver.
Elephants have always played an important role in Sri Lanka. Some 5,000 of these impressive animals still live in the wild here. Even today, elephants are used as working animals, although now they have largely been replaced by machines. But there is no substitute for the elephants of Kataragama. They are trained and cared for by mahouts. Achit's family has been working with the animals for many generations.
I always wanted to do this. My father also looked after elephants like his father before him. Knowledge is passed down through the generations. When my father checked up on the elephants, we used to hide in the trees and watch. He'd chase us away shouting, "Get back home!" Then I finally began working when I was 12.
Now is the busiest time of the year for them both.
We haven't slept for 4 days. In fact, we haven't slept the whole week. We're on duty here all year round. We only get home once or twice a month. And when I'm not on duty, then I take care of my own business and relax.
What looks like relaxation here is part of the daily routine. The way the mahout handles his tusker, Vasana, seems effortless, but it takes many years for a man and an animal to become a team. Over time, trust develops.
Nobody else can wash his face. Nobody else is allowed to wash a tusker's face. That will never happen. We have been together now for 20 years.
But just as in any other partnership, misunderstandings sometimes arise.
Once on the Kiriwahera Road, I let a few children walk under his belly. I had no idea that my own children and my wife had come all the way from home to visit. He hit me on the head with his trunk to tell me the news. I didn't understand him though, so he hit me a second time, in the same place. This time he had my head spinning, so I hit him with the stick. As I did that, he shrieked so loudly and with such a high tone, you'd think I'd hit him hard. After this, he waited 10 minutes and then hit me again. Then it finally got through to me that he wanted to tell me something, but didn't want to hurt me. I turned around and my wife and children were there. He said, "Your wife is here, see for yourself." And that was his news.
Now the elephants are being led in. The mahouts make them kneel down in front of the Kataragama's temple before they are dressed up in their finery. Hidden from the eyes of the faithful under a cloth, a relic is brought out and tied to the back of the strongest tusker. For Vasala and Achit, it is the most important night of the year.
It's vital that the elephant is friendly to me and that I can feel his love. During a perahera for Buddha or the gods, we can then perform our duties properly. For me, this is the most important thing.
And then, when the full moon rises, the high point of the perahera begins, the festival in honor of Lord Kataragama. At the head of the procession, the Vedas paid their respects to the god. They are followed by the religious dignitaries. It is said Lord Kataragama hates silence. Therefore, the festival in his honor needs to be one thing: loud. It's a festival for the senses and all kinds of people. The reverence shown to Lord Kataragama by the many pilgrims and the shared wonder of the magnificent spectacle unites everyone here. For a moment, religious divisions and social differences seem blurred.
Thank you for watching. Did you like this video? Tell us in the comments, and please like, share, and subscribe to the Terra channel. Until next time.